Good evening. My name is Arilia Winn. I'm the owner and operator of Winn Publications. And if you don't mind, just introducing yourself, telling us your name, and maybe about what you do full time.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Gerri D. I am an author. I was recently a signed author, but I ventured off on my own and became an independent writer. Outside of writing, I am a special education teacher.
Nice. So how do you have time to do both? I feel like because my mom, she used to work in special education, I feel like she would always be tired after a day at work. So how do you manage?
Because I'm also in school as well, so I have a lot going on, but I had a story, like when I have a story that I need to get out, because it's fine. You know how people say you make time for what you want to do?
Yeah.
So if I really want to get that story out, I make time for it.
Yeah, okay, hey, I'm right there with you. Because right now, I'm like, I have to format this book, and guess what? It's getting done tonight.
It's so late, y'all, so she's a hard working woman.
Yeah. So, okay, so then tell us about your book. I know, hey, first of all, me and you know, but maybe just for those that are new and just started tuning into the Author Spotlight, this is Gerri's second time on the Author Spotlight, so I'm so glad. Can you tell us what has been happening since we talked? Was it in, how long ago was it?
It was in November. It was November 28th, a blessed day, because it was my birthday.
Oh, that's right.
I can remember that day. But since then, at that time, I had just released the third part to Thick as Thieves, and recently, January 31st, I believe, is the day I think it came out, was I released a novella entitled Forever Doesn't Last Too Long, and it's a short story. It's about, I think it's about 30,000 words, so it's a really quick read.
Okay.
It's about a married couple. In the beginning, it gives the wife gives the backstory about herself, but how she wasn't, she didn't really believe in marriage. She didn't believe in the organization of marriage and what marriage stood for, how she vowed to never get married, and like things she did in her life. And she felt like maybe the way she treated her men in her life previously is her karma, because she eventually does get married, and her husband cheats on her. So the story is about her going through the motions of how she feels about her husband cheating on her and how she deals with it, and revenge. And revenge costs her everything in the end. So it's a good little read.
Ooh, sounds good. Sounds like a TV show. Sounds like a Tyler Perry. Sounds good.
It definitely gets a picture in the mind of things. There's a lot of drama going on. It's like, I can't believe you did that. Really? So I like to, when I write, I like to put a lot of emotions into my characters, because I want my readers to feel what that person is feeling at this time.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, and I think that's why I love reading sometimes, especially from awesome writers. It's like, what? You feel like you're right there in the room with them. So you
don't even need a TV.
Right. Yeah.
You know you're a good author. If you read somebody's work and you can visualize what's going on, then that person is a good author.
I agree. So then what has been your toughest challenge then that you faced in becoming an author?
I think I said this in the last interview too, I don't remember. But in case y'all don't know, I feel like getting your work out there, that's the hardest part. Writing the story is the easy part. The hardest part is I'm sorry about that. The hardest part is getting it out there, getting others to read your work. I know you had a good book if you just keep it to yourself. So getting it out there and getting others to read it and see how good of an author you are is the hard part.
Yeah, I agree, but others may disagree. Some might feel like the writing part is the hard part. And how was it, or what advice do you have for someone who feels that way? Like, no, like the writing part is really hard. What can they do?
The writing part, you have you have to get in a clear space. You need to talk to the characters in your head. You know, y'all have to talk to each other and communicate with each other so y'all can get this story out. You have to describe everything. You know, if the person was walking, you might want to describe how their feet sounded against the pavement. If they feeling anxious, you know, talk about how they could feel the blood coursing through their veins. I'm sorry, that loud noise. You want to paint the picture for the readers, because remember, this is not TV that they're watching. They are reading these, so you have to gain your audience's attention with details. Details are very important, and not little boring details, but exciting. You gotta use, you know, vivid words, so you can really, you know, like I said, get the reader into what you're talking about.
Oh, wow, that's good. Are you an English teacher?
No.
Okay.
No, I teach all 4 subjects, being a special ed teacher, but no, I'm not an English teacher.
Okay, nice. All right. I was like, look here. All right. So then, have you ever encountered, with the second book, have you ever encountered a moment where you felt like you wanted to quit, and then if so, how'd you handle that?
I actually was, my last book I put out, I said it's my last book. But I had this story burning in me that I had to get it out. Like, I had to get it out. So that will probably be my last book for a while. And it's just because I have a lot going on. But I don't have it, like, I guess I get discouraged from not getting the sales. And it's not about the money to me, but it's about, like, I want somebody to acknowledge my work. Like, I think I'm a good writer. So that can be discouraging, and, like, doing book events and not many people come to your table. Like, that's kind of discouraging at times. But I just have to remember, like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. It'll come. You have to be persistent with things. You have to keep on going. So I've searched different ways, you know, of how to get more readers. How do you find your audience? So I'm still, because I started writing in 2017. So I don't consider myself a vet. I don't have 20-something books. I only have 9 titles. And I'm just still learning. You know, I'm learning. I'm trying to learn different ways of how to promote your work and how to get it out there. So I would say don't get discouraged. Just keep on writing. Yeah,
and you said only 9. That's still a lot.
Because I know my pen sisters, or my former pen sisters, some of them started writing after me, and they already have 15, 20 titles. They keep on rolling. I don't know if these are stories they've been had, you know, just started releasing, or they just sticking them on the whim, but it normally takes me sometimes it takes me a month or 2 to write a 50,000 word story. That's how long it takes me. Like, it takes me a good while, because as I'm writing, I'm saying, I wonder if they're going to be interested in these. I have to grasp their attention. I have to keep the action coming. So I think a lot when I write.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I want it to be good. Like, I don't want this to be, I don't want bad reviews on the book. If I get the reviews, I don't want a bad review. I want somebody to say, "Oh, this story killed me reading." I like people to say they read my book in one day. I want to have your attention like that. Because I know as a reader, when I get books like that, I can't stop reading, and I just don't want the stories to end. So that's what I keep in mind when I'm writing. I want my reader to not want to stop reading.
Yeah, and I think, anybody listening could probably agree with that, you know, when you write to that level to where you got people, you know, messaging you positive things about it. Okay, so then, what would be, you know, your top 3 things that keep you going? I know you kind of already said one, maybe just the acknowledgement. But what else? What are some other things that keep you going?
It's just really people who support me. They, when I say I'm done, they just send me a message, and I would say, like, sometimes I think God gives me a sign, because, like, it'll be a moment where it was a point where I haven't written a book, putting nothing out, and somebody will just randomly message me and say, oh, I just read this book and it's so good. Please don't stop writing. So it's like right in that moment when I say, I'm not doing this anymore, somebody will message me and say, somebody who doesn't even know me, not even a close friend, that'll say, oh my God, keep writing. So I'm like, okay, well maybe you do need to keep writing. Right when I'm about to get up, God gives me that sign, like, nah, keep writing.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It works out that way. Cause
I was trying to put the pen down.
Yeah. You know, and that's kind of what happened with the author spotlight. That's why we got a season 2. Because at first I was so excited. Season 1 came, and then I had someone reach out to me like way after the fact, asking to be on the show. And I was like, oh no, that was last month ago. I'm good. And they're like, oh, well, for season 2, can you let me know when it's coming? And I was like, dang, like, okay, yeah, all right.
Keep going, God will give you signs.
Exactly. I was like, I guess there's gonna be a season 2, and
to speak. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Where you're sharing your audience with us.
Yeah. And so I'm just so excited. I really am. Every interview the last couple of days I've been like, thank you so much for, just even agreeing to do it. I'm like, wow. I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I said, I've had almost 30 people sign up, and I don't know not one of them. Like, none of them are, like, we just, barely are going to meet and talk on the phone. And she just started laughing, and I was like, I can't give up. Like, there's no way.
They're just going to keep growing.
Yeah.
Me encouraging you, keep doing what you're doing, because it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, thank you.
You might move from over the phone to face-to-face interviews, from to maybe TV shows. So keep doing what you're doing and encouraging and grooming writers and helping them. Because I see, like, we follow each other on Instagram, so I see your posts about trying to help authors and all of that. So keep doing what you're doing, because the book industry could be a nasty industry, especially if you get with the wrong publisher. It could just really, tear you down. So keep doing what you're doing with motivating and not just trying to get the dollar from the author, but really helping them become a good and great author, one that can actually sell books and make it, almost, because a lot of authors don't have to work. Writing is their job. So you might be, get in touch. I mean, you might be creating that author. The one who doesn't longer has to work, clock in and work, they're writing for themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about it like that. So thank you so much for saying that. Because, you never know. Someone told me the other day, you never know. Your story might be connected to somebody else. They need you to do what you're called to do, so that way, not only will you be blessed, but they'll be blessed as well. So I believe it. So we'll see. I tell people every show, like, man, I'm taking us to the top. Like, I'm really trying to get a lot of people to listen to it. And so it's going to happen. And so I'm just so grateful. Well, is there anything else that you would want to share, offer to the community? Where can we find your books? Where can we find you on social media?
You can find my books on Amazon.com. Just search Gerri D. That's Gerri space capital D. And you will find all of my titles. Like I said previously, I have 9. Two series, and I think 2 series, 1 standalone, and 2 novellas.
Okay, wow. So hang on a minute. So how do you get the idea for your books? Like, how does that work?
From past experiences, things I know about other people, and just making stuff up.
Oh wow.
I guess almost to say, it's almost like I'm a liar. I'm a great liar.
I was gonna say.
I'm a great liar. I can put it all. I can tell you a 50,000 word lie on paper.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good. I was just getting ready to say, you must be good at telling stories. Yeah, good stories. Oh wow, that's good. Okay, so actually that made me think of something. Just like with self-publishing, what was the hardest part of it for you, or what was the easiest part of it for you if you don't have a hard one?
To me, it was so easy because when I was a published author, it took a long time to get my cover. It took a long time to find a title. It took a long time to get the edits back, and the edits will still be wrong. Like, it was just a lot into it. Self-publishing, the hardest part is you have to promote yourself. Even as a published author, you still have to promote yourself. But you have your publisher who also says, you know, to their larger audience saying, hey, I have a new author dropping a new book. Y'all go out and get it. As a self-published author, I can upload that book that night and it's ready the next day. I create my own title. I can get my cover within a couple of hours or a day or two, depending on how much I paid the person to do the cover. It's just something, and I can get my paperbacks done right then and there as well at the author price. And, you know, buy all of my books to sell them at a book event if I needed to. So everything is, as a self-publisher, is more convenient because it's all in what I'm. I'm stuttering. It's my timing. It's my timing. When I say I want something to happen, it happens. I don't have to wait and go back and forth with somebody. Oh, that title not going to work. Nobody's going to like that title. Oh, what about this cover? No, I don't like that cover. It's all on you. It's so much easier that way.
Really? Okay, because I know the other day I made a post about, like, as a self-publisher, you take on, you know, every role. You have control of every role, but you also have control of every expense. And, like, is it worth it? And the way you sound, you would say, yeah, it's worth it.
It's just, I mean, if you can, because how I edit my books is I do the speaking, so I let the book read itself to me. I go line by line and edit that way, and to me, it's so much easier. It's not anticipating me waiting. Okay, when they gonna send my edits back? When they gonna send them back? When they gonna send them back? Okay, I send my edits in. When is my release date? So I think Amazon makes it, you know, so much easier. And then Amazon does the audiobooks as well. You can even do your own audiobooks. So Amazon makes everything easier for independent author. The only part about the independent author is you have to build your audience. And I'm sorry I don't have the key to tell you how to build your audience because I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But I guess it's like advertisement. Just keep on posting your stuff and keep saying it to people. Say I'm either tired of you and unfollow you, or they say I'm tired about what they're talking about. Let me click on it and see what they're talking about. Right.
Yeah, that is true. You gotta sell. If Pepsi still has to come out with commercials at least once a year, you definitely gotta be putting yourself out there.
You have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Been around before both of us was born, so I'm sure. You have to put in the work.
Yeah. That's so true. But what do you think? So it always makes me so nervous when somebody's like, well, actually not nervous. I just wonder how, like, they put out a book and then already after them being out for a couple months, they've already, like, got thousands of dollars in sales.
I guess some people are just lucky, or maybe they had that right publisher at the time, because I know people, you know, have publishers and then branch out and do their own thing, but they have already built their audience with their publisher. Like, I just don't know. It's in the promotion. I don't know how people. I know some people do things where they do a giveaway. First person to come in, I'll give you a gift card, or gifting books as well. Then you gain readers that way, and then building relationships with other authors as well, because. You know, if you become friends with another author and they have a large audience, you know, they'll promote your book, you promote their book. So that's how the community is built. It's built off, oh, y'all have this great read. And then I even had an author friend, her name is Miss Grand Marie, that's her author name. She has a large following, and she did something special for me where she bought my book and gifted it to her readers and told them, if you do a comment, I'll give you a gift.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's a building relationship. Yeah, so I got readers that way and got comment reviews that way.
That's a good idea.
So a lot of people like free things. So if you are okay with losing a couple of dollars by giving your work away for free, you might, you know, gain readers. If that book is really good, they'll be motivated to read your other works and pay for those.
Yeah. So maybe if you have a couple of books already published, that might be something to think about. Or even if you're considering writing more than one book, that might be something to think about as well.
Because I know seasoned writers who do, like, they'll do a promotion where their book is free to download for like a couple of days. And there'll be ways that they promote their work. Because if you're a good writer and people love your work, they're not going to want to just read one book from you. They'll read them all. So, lose out on a couple of dollars so you can gain more in the end.
Yeah, that's true. And as a self-published author, I mean, what do you think about how much it costs overall? I mean, there's a couple things you probably can do by yourself, but what do you think?
If you work, because editing, because it's the website Fiverr, Fiverr helps out the writer community. They have people who will format a book for you. They have somebody who edit the book for you. And sometimes if you go those routes, they can be very costly. Sometimes they're charging $500 or $1,000 to edit a book. And, if you're selling your book for 99 cents on Amazon, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But to me, what it costs for me to do a book is my cover. And most times I'm spending $30 to $50 on a cover. So if you're going to sell your books for 99 cents or even $2.99, I don't think it's worth spending $500 on an editor unless you're really going to promote the heck out of their book and make that money back. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's up to you as an author. But I know me, I'm very frugal. And I can't pay somebody $300 and $500 to edit my book for me, or even format it. YouTube is your best friend. Every time I want to know how to do something, like I didn't know how to do drop text. I googled it on YouTube, and it showed me how to do it. And YouTube has so many videos on how to format your book for Amazon. And Amazon has templates as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. A lot of times, I think, and maybe it's not even just with publishing a book, but maybe it's just in life, like, we want to just arrive, like, I'm going to write this book and then publish it. Boom, it's done. But it's like, no, it's actually a process.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to read that story again. Make sure those periods are there, those commas, make sure the words are written right, make sure you spell the person's name correctly throughout the whole story. You have to be consistent, because readers will tear you up if it's not consistent. It has to make sense.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, well, thank you so much. I know it's late over there. Where are you calling from again?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
Woo! I love it. My mom is out there in Texas. I got to come visit her. I have a few author friends in Texas. I'm going to have to come visit.
You have to come visit. We all have to meet up.
Yeah, let me know if an event or something happening over the summer. That would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely, hey, if you're listening and you're in Texas, please leave a comment, reach out, let me know if there's a event happening over the summer or even afterwards. We might have to get together, put something together. So, awesome. All right, well, let me let you go. Again, thank you so much for your time and just for speaking with me.